Everyone remembers Jordan, Gretzky, Montana, Jeter. This isn't about them. This is about the other guys. No Hall of Famers, no MVPs. This is the Unheralded. And we're telling you, don't forget about Eric Moulds. Eric Moulds.
Moulds. E-money.
6'2" wide receiver out of Mississippi State. Played 12 years in the NFL between 1996 and 2007. Best known for being a strong, physical receiver down the field. Brian, you're a Bills fan. I'm a Dolphins fan. You and I probably have very different feelings and memories about Eric Moulds, so I'm going to let you take it away first.
Yeah, well, first thoughts, freak athlete. You said 6'2", but in my mind, he was like 6'9", which obviously isn't the case, but like he played like he was 6'9". But, if you talk about some of the first things that come to your mind, he absolutely cooked the Dolphins in the playoffs. However, Dolphins got the last laugh with the win. But, game of his life. I think he scored one touchdown, but what do you have? 200 yards or something in that playoff game against the Dolphins?
We'll talk about it.
It was absurd. Okay, well, yeah, you did get the last laugh, so I'm sure you'd love to talk about it. But, a lot of fond memories, my love with the Buffalo Bills. But just the longevity of his career, his athleticism, and that one game where he cooked the Dolphins in a loss. But
listen, that was not the only game that he cooked the Dolphins, man. He was a real deep threat and strong. He wasn't the guy that was going to sky 12 feet in the air to catch the ball, but he was the guy that if he gets the ball in his hands, he can break one tackle and go 80 yards, which he's did multiple times, right? He killed Miami. Obviously, there was the playoff game. We'll talk about the playoff game. We'll talk about how historic that playoff game was. Yes, we got the last laugh. I still remember that fondly, but he terrified me down to the very end, down to the last play. I expected that he was going to be the guy that put the nail in the coffin. Lots of long catches, lots of long touchdowns, and if he had the ball, you just could not bring him down. Yeah, no, it's true. And his ability to do it over such a long period of time, you see, like, what's the average NFL career, like 3 years or 4 years or something? Not only did he stay in the league for 10 years he put up amazing numbers all the way up until the end. Everybody falls off at some point. For him to be able to put up that many, 100-yard games, and, he almost broke the 10,000-yard mark. Insane career. Insane. You are on top of the stats today, man. You're definitely... You're definitely foreshadowing some of what we're going to talk about next. So listen, we are going to get into a little trivia. Guess the teams. We're going to start with naming the teams. So, Brian, can you name every team that Eric Moulds played on? I can. It's Buffalo, it's the Texans, and it's the Titans. Yes. Ding, ding, ding. Drafted in the first round by Buffalo, spent 10 years there. Obviously, that's what he's known for the most. Bulk of his career is his great moments. 1 year in Houston, 1 year in Tennessee. Now, how many Pro Bowls did he make? So, Pro Bowls only with the Bills. I want to say 3, but maybe realistically 2. I'm going to go with 3 to give him the benefit of the doubt. 3 Pro Bowls. I'm glad you gave him the benefit of the doubt. He had 3 Pro Bowl selections. 1998, 2000, and 2002. So 3 Pro Bowls. Now, how many times was he All-Pro? All-Pro is a tough stat, man, because I think to be an All-Pro, you got to be on a winning team. And those post-Jim Kelly era teams, a lot of 6 and 10 years, All-Pro twice. 2 second-team All-Pro selections, All-Pro in 98 and 2002. Now, here's a question for you. Did he ever win a playoff game? And you don't have to look at the smile on my face to look at this answer. The playoff games that stick out are the Music City Miracle, which was a loss. A heartbreaking loss. That was tough. That and the Dolphins lost. But we could talk about whether that play should have stood or not. We will not talk about that today, but we could. Yeah, the lateral or not lateral. For fairness. Yeah, from a Dolphin fan to a Bills fan out of fairness. Yeah. So the 2 playoff games that stick out to me are both losses. I'm going to say with Houston? No, I'm going to say no. No, he went to the playoffs 4 times during his tenure. Unfortunately for him, Buffalo did not manage to win any of those games, but you can't blame him for that. That one specific game we'll talk about a little later. He did his part. Buffalo did not come out on top of any of those playoff games. Okay, let's get into some stats. within 10 yards. Can you guess his single game high in yardage?
Single game high in yardage. I'm broke the 200 mark. 210.
Well, his regular season single game high was 196 against the Miami Dolphins. His playoff career high in a single game was 240 yards.
240
against the Miami Dolphins.
Absurd.
And you wonder why I have bad memories about Eric Moulds. Can you guess his single game high in touchdowns?
4.
2.
2.
I was surprised.
Career high 2 touchdowns in one game. Wow.
There were only 4 games where he had multiple touchdowns. So 2 touchdowns in a game 4 times. He had several games where he had multiple long catches, but may have been tackled at the 4 or 5 yard line.
Yeah.
A little Calvin Johnson-esque in that manner. Because he definitely had games where he had several catches that went almost 80 yards more.
Yeah. Well, let me ask you this. Are we accounting rushing touchdowns? He probably had a handful of them in his career. If I had to guess, no more than 5 or 6. I don't know. Is that an advanced stat?
That was not captured in my research. I do have. I can tell you that that he did have more than just receiving touchdowns.
Yeah. Punt returns.
We'll talk about it.
All right.
Yeah. You're getting a little bit ahead of the game.
Sorry.
But listen, Eric Moulds, he was an athlete, man. He was a threat in more ways than one. Listen,
He was.
That's not a secret. Okay, now those were his single game highs. Let's talk about his best seasons. Now this is a little tough, guessing total season yardage and touchdowns, but let's give it a shot, man. Can you guess what his single season highs were in yards and in touchdowns? Not necessarily in the same year, but just overall.
Well, he had several 1,000-yard seasons. I'm going to say no more than 1,100, and let's go 1,200 as a season high.
Did a little bit better than that. He had 1,368 yards in 1998. He had 3 seasons that were right at the 1,300-yard mark.
Amazing.
So that stretch, I mean, he was definitely a threat in that stretch. 10 touchdowns in 2002 was his single season high in scores. Also very, very durable. Over his 12-year career, he only missed 6 games. He played all 16 games 9 times out of 12 years. And when you watched him play and you saw how strong and physical he was, that's not a surprise. He was a tough player.
Even on some of those games he missed, not necessarily health related. He had a little spat with one of his coaches. I think he got suspended a game or 2. So, I mean, when you talk about durability, even the games he missed, not a durability issue. He was amazing. If you go to the gym because you want to get ripped or shredded, you're going because you want to look like Eric Moulds looked. I mean, the guy was an Adonis.
All right, your Bills fandom is getting a little over the top here.
Over the top.
But
that's what we want.
Okay, now
cherry-picked stat.
It is time for our cherry-picked stat of the day. We talked about his 240 yards against Miami in the playoffs. Did you know that is the NFL record for most receiving yards ever in a single playoff game?
I did not.
240 yards in the wild card game against Miami in 1999. And what made it even more impressive, you may remember this, Miami had a hell of a secondary. Sam Madison, Pat Surtain, Brock Marion, Terrell Buckley. That was an elite secondary that year.
Cab drivers.
And still setting the record. Hell of a game.
Now, I'm actually shocked that record stands today because of how pass heavy the league is now. When you got guys like Mahomes and Josh Allen just slinging the ball, that record still stands today says a lot.
It does.
Yes. And they were not cab drivers. I'm sorry. I just
Thank you. Future unheralded episodes on multiple of these players. That'll be for next time. Okay.
Did you know?
Did you know? I've got 2 did you knows for Eric Moulds. A little unique here,
okay.
But he stands out in a couple ways. So you talked about scoring in more ways than just receiving touchdowns. Did you know that he has 1 career kickoff return for a touchdown? In his rookie year, he returned a kick 97 yards for a touchdown against the New York Jets.
Oh, that makes it sweet, doesn't it? Against the Jets. I did know he had at least 1 kick return for a touchdown. I didn't realize it was against the Jets. Awesome. I know he was outstanding on special teams for a good 3 or 4 years before he kind of grew out of it. And, once you become an established star in the league, they kind of push you away from the special teams, to keep you healthy.
Too valuable.
But I did know that one.
Second, did you know? You kind of foreshadowed this. You mentioned that he was a little short of the 10,000 yard mark. Did you know that his career yardage total is 9,995?
I did. You know why I know that specifically? Because I always think if it were maybe 5 more yards of he might be in the conversation for Hall of Fame. I don't think he's in the conversation for Hall of Fame. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying he's in the conversation for Hall of Fame. If he had 10,000 yards, maybe he enters the conversation. But just being 5 short,
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Now, all-purpose yards over 10,000, but that is a shame.
Yeah.
I have to say, can't you guys just couldn't someone have thrown him just a 5-yard slant, get to 10,000, walk off into the sunset, nice clean number.
Look at who he's sharing the field with. Andre Reed,
Yeah.
Peerless Price. I mean, these are guys who demanded targets, right? And for him to get that many yards and receptions in his career with those teammates says a lot.
Definitely does. Hell of a career. All right, man. That is Eric Moulds' playing days. What is going on currently?
So Eric Moulds just popped up in the news because he is actually right now mentoring a Bills wide receiver by the name of Khalil Shakir. A little deep dive on the Bills right now. You may not recognize the name on the national audience, but not only does Moulds own his own gym, he trains professional athletes on how to get to the standard that he set all those years ago. And I love to see that he reaches out to his old fan base, comes up to Buffalo in the offseason, handpicks a wide receiver, and tries to mentor him and train him. So shout out to Moulds, E-Money.
I would hire him as a trainer.
Yeah.
Shoot. All right, man. It's time to talk about early, late, or on time. Did he come into the league a little too early, a little too late, or just at the right time?
Right on time. Well, he came to the Bills a little bit late. Imagine him with Jim Kelly and with Thurman Thomas. I mean, come on. But the league, I mean, they just started to get those super athletic there's always athletic wide receivers, but those wide receivers that are born and bred and trained to be wide receivers their whole life. Right on time.
Yeah, I definitely know what you mean, but I kind of thought the same thing. I pictured him with Jim Kelly, or nowadays with Josh Allen. Josh Allen could use a receiver like him, man. So great career. I mean, for him, I think it was the right time. For the Bills, early, later, either way, he could have been a piece that definitely made a difference. But that's just not how it worked out. So, Brian, man, give me some closing thoughts.
Eric Moulds, E-Money. Great Buffalo Bill. Unfortunately, if you're not a Bills fan or you don't live in the Buffalo area, that name might escape your attention. But do your research, man. Pay respect to Eric Moulds. He deserves it. He earned it. He was on that drought era of the franchise where he didn't get any playoff wins, as we learned today. But he certainly deserves a lot of respect.
Definitely does. If you do not know Eric Moulds, go watch the YouTube video of his 240-yard game. It kind of tells you all you need to know about what kind of player he was. That's gonna be a wrap for today. We'll see you guys next time.